this lesson is on converting from one unit to another. We're going to focus. We're going to do four conversions. One with length, and this comes from your TOX formula chart. Now, every once in a while on the TOX test, they'll throw in a word problem, and you'll do the word problem correct. And let's say the word problem is in yards, but your answer choices are in feet. So you'll have to convert yards to feet. And there's a simple way to do it so you don't get confused. Now let's just make up a word problem, the answer to a word problem. Let's say the answer to my word problem was 5 yards. But all my answer choices are in feet. Well, I'm going to teach you a mathematical way to convert involving a converting factor. Now, do it with me. The first thing you need to do is look at what you're given. In this little problem, I'm given 5 yards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 5 yards. And I can put it over question mark. I want feet, but really doesn't matter what you put on the bottom. What is important is that whatever you have has to be right here first. Okay, we're going to write the converting factor. And what that means is we're going to go to our math chart and find where yards and feet are. Well, I can see right here that yards and feet are right there. Now what you're going to do is put a multiplication sign and another fraction bar. Now I want yards on the bottom and I want feet on top, because ultimately I want to cancel out the yards, and I'm just going to write whatever's on the math chart. That's what I'm going to write. Alright, notice that yards is on top. That allows me to cancel it out on the top and the bottom. And what am I left over with? Feet. Now it just turns into straight across multiplication. 5 times 3 is 15 feet. Alright, but some of you guys are saying, well, Mr. Trujillo, that's easy. I already know how to do feet to yards. Well, occasionally they may throw in an extra step. They may say, they may give you 5 yards and they want your answer to be in inches. Well, you're going to have to write more than one converting factor. Okay, I'm going to start off with 5 yards and put that over what I want. Or you can just put a question mark to start off with. Now I'm going to put a multiplication sign. I know I want excuse me. I know I want yards on the bottom because it's on top over here. And the conversion, I can't go straight to inches. I have to go through feet. So I'm going to put feet on top. And on my conversion chart, it again has 3 feet equals 1 yard. But I still don't want feet. I want inches. So I'm going to convert it again. Feet is on top. I'm going to put feet on bottom. And inches on top. Well, let's see. On my conversion chart, I see that 1 foot equals 12 inches. Alright, let's go ahead and do my cancellations. Yards cancels out with yards. Feet cancels out with feet. What am I left with? Inches, and that's what I wanted. Alright, then I just multiply straight across. 5 times 3 times 12. 5 times 12 is 60. 60 times 3 is 180 inches. Alright, there's other parts to your chart though. Let's take a look at these other parts. Now I have capacity and volume. Notice I have liters and milliliters, which are really easy because all you have to do is move the decimal, but I'm going to show you how to do that with this converting factor if you just totally flip out on that. Because sometimes it's easy to forget how many times to move the decimal. And then you have your customary, which is not the most popular thing across the world, but it is. Now, let's say your answer choice is in quarts. Let's say 4 quarts. And I want my answer to be in ounces. Let's use the same thing we've been doing to convert quarts to ounces. First thing I'm going to write is what they give me, 4 quarts. And you can put it over a question mark or whatever you want. Put another multiplication sign and a fraction bar. Now, the first thing I see is quarts equals pints. So I'm going to have to put pints up here. And again, I want to cancel out quarts. And I'm just going to write 1 quart is 2 pints. But I don't want pints. Again, stay focused on what you want. I want ounces. I'm going to put another multiplication sign. And I see pints. Remember, they have to be opposite each other. And cups. Well, I see 2 cups equal 1 pint. But I don't want cups. Again, I want ounces. Stay focused on what you want. So I'm going to get rid of the cups. Put my multiplication sign. And I see that 1 cup equals 8 ounces. Now, that's the long way to go about it, but you're ultimately going to have to do this math. Now I'm left with ounces, which is what I want. But I'm not done yet. I have to do my multiplication. So let me go ahead and multiply. I know that 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Now I'm going to do 16 times 8. Which is 128. Okay. Hopefully you won't get anything on the talks where you have to convert more than twice or more than just one converting factor, but I've seen it happen. You got to be prepared for it. All right. On the next one, mass and weight, kilograms to milligrams. Let's say I give you 3 kilograms, and I want my answer to be in milligrams. All right, let's go and use the converting factor. Way to do it. First thing you're going to do is write down what you have, 3 kilograms. Write down a multiplication sign, and you want kilograms on the bottom so they cancel out. And we're going to look at what our first conversion is. It's 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. I don't want grams though, I want milligrams. So I'm going to put another multiplication, put grams on the bottom. And I look at my conversion chart, it says 1 gram equals 1,000 milligrams. All right, so 3 times 1,000 is 3,000 times another 1,000. It's going to be 3. I can just add the zeros. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 million milligrams. Now, those of you that remember from 6th grade how to do it, let's look at our answer. This is right here, 3 is kilograms. I know that if I move my decimal over 1, 2, 3, it's going to give me grams. And I move my decimal over another 1, 2, 3, it's going to give me milligrams. The metric system is nice because you can do the jumping, but sometimes it's easy to forget how many times you're going to jump. That confuses students. All right. The last one on the chart is time. All right, let's say you're given, let's say 3 weeks, and you want to convert that to, actually we've been going big to small, so let's go the other way. Let's say you're given 1,000 hours, and we want to figure out how many weeks that is. Okay, so using this method of using a converting factor, we're going to write down what we have: 1,000 hours. Okay, now we're going to kind of go the opposite way that we'd normally been going. We're going to go from something that's a very small unit to something that's a very big unit, but it works the same way. I'm going to put my multiplication sign, hours on the bottom, and find where on this chart I have hours, and we're going to go up. Well, here I see that 1 hour, or 24 hours, is 1 day. Okay, but I don't want day, I want week. So I'm going to put another converting factor, put day on the bottom, week on top, and I see right here on my conversion chart that 7 days equals 1 week. Now I have some numbers on the bottom, which we haven't done before. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can reduce anything, top to bottom. And I see that 24 and 1,000 are just asking to be reduced because they're even numbers. Well, if we don't know exactly the greatest common factor, let's just divide by 2 all the way. Let's see, 1,000 divided by 2 is 500. So you can just change that to 500. And you can change this to 12. All right, well, I can go even further. 2 into 12 is 6. And 2 into 500 is 250. All right, I can go even more. I know 2 can go into 6 3 times. And I know 2 can go into 250 125 times. You just chop it down by 2 every single time. All right, now I'm at a point where I can't reduce anymore. So I'm going to have to actually do my multiplication. Well, it made my life a whole lot easier because 125 times 1 times 1 is not as big a number as I was going to have to divide by, but nonetheless, it's not that pretty. 3 times 7 is 21. Now I can just divide 21 into 125. Let's see, 21 doesn't go into 100, into 12, but it does go into 125. It does go into 125 5 times. Let's go and do the multiplication. 5 times 21 is 105. I subtract 0. 21 goes into 209 times. So 1,000 hours is equal to about 5.9 weeks. All right, remember, our whole goal is to get rid of this, what we have, by putting it on the bottom of another converting factor. Get rid of this by putting it on the bottom of another converting factor. And we're left with what we want at the end.